How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another edition of The Opinion, and quick win right here. The game's been wrapped up for a while. Oklahoma takes down Auburn at home 24-7. And I just want to jump right to it. The first thing you hear from Auburn fans, they talking about all the refs screwed us and all that stuff. No, you got beat straight up. Oklahoma had a record 10 sacks. Blame your offensive line because they couldn't block. But hey, I wouldn't blame them. I don't blame them for all the holding calls because you can't block Oklahoma's defensive line. If you didn't hold, Oklahoma might have had 15 sacks. You're going up against probably the best defensive line in all of college football. Why don't you blame your guy leading into your last possession who should have just let the ball go into the end zone, but no, he decided to take the ball out of the end zone trying to make a play, which then caused a holding penalty, which backed you up and then ultimately led to more sacks that we saw. Why don't you blame, how about Jackson Arnold? I mean, Jackson Arnold played good. I'm not here to disparage Jackson Arnold. I thought due to the circumstances, I thought Jackson Arnold played a fine game. But he missed a few throws. Why don't you blame that? Had Jackson Arnold made a few throws, maybe you have a few more touchdowns and you win the game anyway. But no, you want to blame everything on calls. No, Auburn. You got beat fair and square. Here's the thing. You can't beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma is better than you are. Oklahoma had their worst season since probably 1998, went to your house last year and beat you. And then you thought your team was going to come to Norman, Oklahoma and leave with a W? I mean, you gave yourself a chance, but you were never going to win that game. As well as Oklahoma's defense played, Oklahoma wasn't going to have a 10-sack game and leave out there with a loss. That just wasn't going to happen. The refs didn't have nothing to do with it. You can't beat Oklahoma. For some reason, you seem to struggle with teams that were crimson, and Oklahoma's just the other one. You struggle with Alabama, and you struggle with Oklahoma. That's just the way it is. Crimson is your kryptonite. You can't beat teams that wear crimson. They got crimson and white jerseys. You just can't get right. It's almost like when you see that crimson, you just can't play right. You can't win. And that's all it is. That's all it is. You got beat fair and square. Don't blame the referees. Blame your team. And I thought your team played fine. I mean, they gave themselves a chance to win, but you just can't beat Oklahoma. This is Oklahoma football. This ain't Auburn football. And Auburn football is respectable, but Oklahoma football is on a whole nother level. Oklahoma don't need the refs to beat Auburn. Just remember that. Oklahoma don't need the refs to beat Auburn, and they didn't need them today. They didn't need them today. They had 10 sacks, dominated off Auburn's offensive line. John Mateer struggled the first half, but the second half, he got on track. He got on track, and you saw what happened. They got down, and what happened? John Mateer came right back and led OU on a drive and scored, took the lead right back. So at the end of the day, move on with your season because, I mean, Oklahoma just beat you 2 times in a row in SEC play. Oklahoma's going to move on with its season. Auburn fans, you move on with your season and don't blame the referees. Blame all the other things about how your team did not play smart enough and sound enough football to win the game. So that's all I got to say. Leave your thoughts down below. What did you think of the game from OU and or Auburn fans or just college football fans? I thought it was a good game, but hey, Auburn, you just not Oklahoma. That's just what this comes down to. You can't beat the teams that wear the crimson jerseys. Sorry, I'm out.